Hi guys, I'm super excited about today's video because today's topic is winter in Korea. And you might think, what's so special about winter in a country? Well, let me tell you, when I first got here, I was so weirded out by many things, and some things were just blew my mind. So I wanted to make this video to kind of show you what my life is like in Korea during the winter time. So let's get into the video. First of all, winter in Korea is very cold. And you might not think so when you look at the temperature because the temperature is not that low. But what makes it cold is the wind. Korea happened to be on the receiving end of the cold air blew from Siberia and Upper Mongolia. The cold air sweeps down and affects Korea during the winter time. Also, the surrounding mountains block any benefits from the warm currents of the ocean. So because of this, even though you look at the temperature and it's not that low, the winds that blew down from the mountains, especially if you live next to a mountain like I do, when I walk outside, the wind is so sharp and so cold, and I'm the type of person who loves walking outside. Every single day I will take at least an hour walk, but in the coldest time of winter, when I go outside, I've had situations where I physically cannot take a longer walk than 5 minutes because I feel like my body is gonna freeze. I come from North Europe, Latvia, and our winters get pretty cold. Like when I was a kid, I still remember days when I could stay home because it was too cold for students to go to school. So I'm used to cold winters. But in Latvia, if it's cold, I can simply dress super warmly and it's fine. I can still go for walks. But in Korea, the wind is so sharp and so strong that no matter how many layers you got on, once you get out, the wind is gonna go through all those layers and you're just gonna feel freezing cold. So that is the difference between coldness in other places of the world and Korea. There are quite a few unique and fun ways how Koreans have learned to deal with this cold. So these are the things I'm going to tell you about in this video. So number one, hand warmers called hot packs. When I first got to Korea, this blew my mind. I thought I'm coming from a colder country, so we should have these kind of inventions, how to deal with cold. But we use none of them. But in Korea, you can get these kind of hot packs everywhere you go. There are in pharmacies, in convenience stores, basically everywhere you can get these kind of hot packs. And what these are, basically you take them out of a pack, you shake it up, and inside, I'm not sure what is inside of these things, but some kind of reaction happens and they heat up. And I'm not talking about slightly warm package. I'm saying it gets hot, and these things last for hours. No more freezing in bus stops or no more freezing hands when we're walking around and taking a walk in the winter time. Thank you, Korea. These kind of heat packs now have a wide diversity, so it's not just for hands. I've seen so many types of heat packs. There are tiny ones that you can put on your socks and in your shoes, so your feet would be warm. There are also big ones that you can put on your shoulders in case you have back pain or neck pain. This will give you warmth and comfort to heal it faster. There are also ones for your lower back. I've also seen ones for your eyes, for your head. Basically, any part of your body, there's probably a heat pack for it. But I have seen a lot of reusable hot bags as well. Usually they will look like small beanie bags. Korea is all about cuteness, so there will be ones that look like toys, ones that look and smell like coffee beans. So basically you will just pop one of these in your microwave before you head out, and then you just take it out and it's gonna be warm, and it's gonna stay warm for quite a while, so you can have your hands nice and warm. Moving on the topic of warmers, Korea has amazing space warmers as well. Korea does not use radiators like we do in Europe. They use these kind of warmers. And let me tell you, they warm up the room so quick. These have saved me so many times when working in really cold studios in winter in Korea. As I said, Koreans don't have radiators. Instead, all houses have floor heating. So sometimes it's not enough. And Koreans have made these electric floor mats, and you can have big and thick ones for your floor and also smaller and thinner ones for your bed as well. So you can feel super warm and comfortable no matter if you sleep on the floor like a hardcore Korean or in your bed. Speaking of beds, traditionally Koreans sleep on the floor or on a stone bed. Yes, traditionally, Korean beds were stone. I know, right? When I first saw them, I was just, again, mind blown, because who wants to sleep on a stone? That just makes no sense. These beds are a literal nightmare to my back. But these days, these stone beds also have inbuilt heating, so you can just plug them in and the stone area will heat up and it's gonna be super warm. I can't say anything about comfortable, but it's gonna be warm. Next on my list are these super cute, warm, fluffy, soft pajamas. These are a must in Korea, and this is something I can really stand by. If you are in Korea, if you're visiting during the winter time, this is a must buy that you will never ever regret, because sleeping in these is just so cozy that it feels like you are sleeping on a cloud. And Korea is also big on fluffy socks, so if you combine these two, you will have an amazing sleep. Moving on to winter foods. Korea is huge on food. Koreans don't really eat to live, they live to eat. So they have a specific food for any kind of weather, for any kind of event, for any kind of season. There will be specific foods that people eat around that time. And of course, this is the case in winter as well. So I'm going to tell you about the most frequently eaten winter street foods. Number one on my list is hot dog. These are Korean sweet pancakes. It tastes kind of like a donut, but it has sweet, hot, sugary filling with cinnamon and some crunchy nuts and seeds. So this delicious combo of fried, sweet, crunchy and hot is the best snack for a winter's day. Next are bungeoppang, or goldfish-shaped red bean paste bread. Red bean paste? I know what you're thinking. What? What is red bean paste and how can that be good? Well, traditional Korean snacks are filled with sweet red bean paste, and foreigners who don't know what it is can never guess what it is when trying it. It's just really sweet and has nice texture to it, and these breads, as well as hot dog, are sold all across Korea on street vendors, everywhere you go. Like if it's a crowded place, there's going to be some kind of street food, and these two are the most popular I've seen everywhere. When it comes to bungeoppang, the traditional ones are with sweet red bean paste, but there are also ones with custard cream, or in Korean you will see written choux cream on it, and basically it's this yellow cream, and the bread is cooked in fish-shaped pans, so it looks really cute, and they're also very inexpensive. Usually you will see signs that says 3 for 1,000 won, which is basically 3 buns for only $1. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. If you love healthy food like me, that you're going to love these next two options. First of them is kun goguma, and the next one is kun kam, which basically means roasted sweet potato or roasted chestnuts. And both of them are so delicious, and you will be surprised how available they are everywhere around Korea. The way they are roasted makes them so sweet and delicious. They just melt on your tongue, and just looking at them steaming in the window when it's a really cold winter's day is just the best. For a more savory and spicy food, you want to try tteokbokki, which is the next one on my list. Those are sweet, spicy rice cakes. There are a lot of diversity to them. You can find different types of rice cakes sold in small shops, in big shops, and as street food as well, and all of them taste really good. And the next one is odeng, which is a fish cake, usually sold on a wooden stick in a paper cup together with the broth that it was boiled in. And just the steaminess is so nice. And also it is usually eaten after visiting the sauna. So this is also one of the foods that you will find outside of sauna or public bathhouses. Apart from surviving Korean winter, there are also some quite bizarre, quite genius, and overall weird things that Koreans do in winter. Number one, fashion over weather. Everyone knows Korea is all about fashion. Koreans are amazing when it comes to fashion. But you will see people who are dressed in super nice long coats, which are open, so you can see the rest of the layers of their outfit. They're just freezing because of the fashion. And funny thing, Koreans are really vocal too, so they will actually tell you, well, not you directly, but they will loudly express that they're feeling cold. So you will see people walking on the street with their coats open saying, "Ah, 추워," or "겁나 추워," which means like, "Oh, it's so cold, it's so freaking cold." And in my head I'm like, maybe close your coat so you don't freeze. And same goes for shoes. Literally 90% of Koreans wear sneakers when going outside in winter. It doesn't matter if it's snowing or not, they're wearing sneakers. Only people who are either too young to care or too old to care wear proper shoes. The rest of the people wear sneakers when it's winter. Unless the boots are a fashion statement, then it's a different story. Also, another thing they wear during winter is, wait for it, slippers. Yeah, Korea is huge about slippers. When I first got to Korea and I saw everyone wearing slippers, I was just like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen, especially like the traditional ones that I wear everywhere. You can buy them for like 2001 in Daiso or every other store. They're just so ugly, as I thought when I first got here, but I have to agree, they grew on me. And yes, I also now wear slippers when I have to do small errands like go and put the trash out or go to the ATM or things like that. So yeah, these things grew on you after some time, but when I first got here I thought it's so ridiculous, and even though many years have passed, still when I see this in winter I'm just like, it's cold, why do you have slippers on? And to prove you that it's real, this video was taken on so far the coldest day that Korea had this winter. It was like -6 degrees that day, and here you can see a guy just chilling in his slippers on a cold winter's day. Another fun fact is that Koreans use umbrellas when it's snowing. Am I the only one who was mind blown by this? Like, it's so simple, yet so genius. Please guys, let me down in the comments if people do this in your country as well, because for me, like, I was super surprised. And like, it's so simple, but somehow, I mean, maybe it's a language thing, because in Latvian, when you say umbrella, literally it means rain guard. So maybe because of that, I'm kind of coded that this is only for rain. But yeah, Koreans use umbrellas when it's snowing. I guess also I don't do this because I personally love snow. So for me, it's just like, come, snow on me, beautiful snow. Like, I don't feel bad when my hair gets wet if it's from snowing. That's just beautiful. So I don't mind snow. When it comes to Christmas, Christmas is very different here than anywhere else I've ever visited. Obviously, the main religion in Korea has nothing to do with Christmas, so I understand how they don't have any traditions that we do. Basically, they just saw what it looks like in movies and took what they wanted. So yes, you will see Christmas trees around Korea and in people's houses and in coffee shops. Yes, you will see fairy lights and decorations, but other than that, Christmas is just a day for couples. So on Christmas Day, you will go out with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, whatever, and have a date. And the only like traditional thing that everyone does on Christmas is have a Christmas cake. Yeah, that's a thing. Is it a thing in your country? Please let me know, because it's not a thing in mine. Also, New Year's itself doesn't really hold any value for Koreans, and it has no connection to Christmas. So after Christmas, once it's done, everyone takes off their decorations, everyone takes off their tree, and Christmas is done, basically. Even like for me, I went to Daiso, which is basically Korean dollar store, and I wanted to buy some wrapping paper for Christmas present that I still had to give. And one day after Christmas, everything was already gone. And I asked and they said, yeah, we already got rid of all the Christmas stuff. And that's not the first time that it happens. Basically, once Christmas is over, it's over. Also, interesting thing about Korea in winter is that parents don't let their kids play around in playgrounds during winter time. They think it's too cold and that they're gonna get sick. So you will never see kids in the playground during this time. And the last thing I wanted to share is age. After January 1, everyone adds 1 more year to their age. Yeah, everyone gets 1 year older on January the 1st. And they don't think of this as birthday. In our culture, your age is how many full years you've lived. But in Korea, it's more like how many years you've experienced. So basically, if you are born on December 28th, on January 1st, you will be 2 years old. It's not that you're 2 years old, it's that you have experienced 2 different years. You were alive on 2020 and you are also alive in 2021. So that's why everyone is 1 year older as the next year arrive. And also, on January 1st, bars and clubs are full of people who turn 19 because it's the legal age here to drink and party and visit clubs. So yeah, this is all for this video, you guys. I hope you find it interesting. Please let me know down in the comments which of the things did you find the most interesting, the weirdest, and which one was fascinating to you. And is there anything you do from these in your country? Please let me know. Until I see you in my next video. Bye!